There are quite a few precious memories that I have from my teenage years, and watching Family Feud with my grandfather was definitely one of them. We would watch every episode that would come on and kind of play along. My grandfather lived with us, but he really couldn't do much due to his poor health. So every morning I would go into his room and keep him company for a half hour to an hour at a time. So I was really excited to play Family Feud for the Wii, to relive all those memories that I had watching the show. Now, it's not the first time that Family Feud has come to the Wii. This time it's subtitled Decades. And for one great reason. You can play in your favorite decade. What I mean is that the set that you play the game in changes for the different decades. It would have been cool if they had the original host's voice for each of the decades. You know, take clips from when they ask a question on the show, and then you work off that. It would have made the title way more fun to play. But unfortunately, they went with a more generic voiceover. Why couldn't they just wheel out Richard Dawson? He's still alive, right? Hang on. Checking. Yep, he is. Why not just give him a few bucks to record the lines? It would have turned this somewhat generic game show title into something way more authentic. Since I grew up in the 80s, I played that one the most, but I did try them all out. If you've never played Family Feud before, it's played like this. Someone has surveyed 100 people, and you have to pick the top few answers that people have answered for the question that you're given. How many answers you have to choose from depends on how many different answers they get to the question. As long as 2 people said it, then it will be a possible answer on the board. The more people who said the answer, the more points you get. They will do a head-to-head round, and the team who has the highest topped answer will get to try and answer all the questions on the board, or pass it to the other team. The team trying to guess can only miss 3 times, or the other team will try and steal their points. However, the rub is that the other team only has 1 shot at stealing the points by getting 1 answer right. The team who gets 300 points first wins the game and then goes on to Fast Money. In the Fast Money round, you and your partner have to answer 5 questions. And if you and your partner can total up to 200 points, you will win the money. The different looks in the decades made the somewhat repetitive gameplay a little more fun to play. Just like the $1 Million Pyramid, you have to use your Wiimote to type in the answer. And it worked okay. After you start typing in your answer, it'll bring up 4 word choice boxes to choose from. I still have the same complaint that I had for $1 Million Pyramid, and that if you start typing in something and it's not showing up, then you know it's going to be wrong. So that's kind of cheating. Or you might be typing in something totally different and you see a suggestion that you hadn't thought of. The game can be played against a computer or another person. Unfortunately, there is no online play, and that was frustrating, since I think this title could have been really fun online. What I did like was the achievements that each decade had to offer. Unlike the other game show titles that this company has put out, all the decades are free to play right from the get-go, but each decade has different goals to achieve to unlock clothes for your avatar. Family Feud Decades was adequate. It presented the show exactly as it was on TV, but without any of the heart. However, to be fair, it's very hard to get the feel of a TV show in a game show adaptation for a gaming system, and I can think of only one game show title that has done it really well. It really requires putting your time and care into the title, and it's fairly obvious the publishers didn't have any time for that kind of nonsense. If you're a fan of Family Feud, you might find a couple hours worth of enjoyment from this title, so it might be worth a rent if you want to relive some of those memories. Anyone else, you should probably skip it.